Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ify. Happy New Year because I think this is my first video this year. So I'm going to be going through all the things you need to carry when you're traveling with kids in your carry-on. So if you watched my last video, I'm going to link it somewhere here. I posted a few days ago about what you need to take note of or what you need to be aware of when you're traveling with a child and a baby by yourself. So I traveled alone with my 6-month-old and 26-month-old at the time. And when I came to Nigeria from the UK, and it was about a 10 hours flight. So in this video, I'm going to be going through all the things that we carried in our carry-on. So the suitcase we took into the plane with us, I'm going to be going through all the things that I put inside to make the journey easy. Also, I wanted to the other thing I wanted to mention, I think I also mentioned in my last video, is when we got into Nigeria, none of our suitcases, the ones we checked in, came with us. So all the things I carried in the suitcase actually was quite useful until the next day when I was able to go into the shops to pick up a few things, because the suitcases did not arrive till like 2 days after. Can you imagine traveling with kids and not having a suitcase for like 48 hours? It was something else, but I did manage to survive the first night without having to get anything new, because everything I carried in the carry-on lasted us till the next day, thankfully. So I'm just going to be going through very quickly all the things I've put on here. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to start with myself because mine was like nice and quick, easy, breezy. So it's the change of outfit for myself, a top and a trouser. I was wearing a bomber jacket, which means I didn't need to carry anything that was too warm because I was roasting already. So I just carried like a short sleeve top, two short sleeves, ooh, I can't get my words out. Two short sleeves top and a trouser, joggers. So that's the only thing I carried for myself. I carried a pair of socks, but I didn't get to use it. So that's all I carried for myself. So for my toddler that was 26 months, I carried a change of clothes for him, something that was warm. I carried a few of that, I think about 2 or 3, because kids' clothes are quite small. That means if I fold them really tiny, they would sit in the suitcase easily and they don't even weigh a lot. So I tend to overcarry when I'm traveling with kids because you never know. If they poop, that's a change of clothes. I mean, poop that splatters. If they spill something, that's a change of clothes. So I tend to carry at least 3 tops or 4 tops because tops are quite light. The bottoms can be a bit heavy, so I could carry like 3, but the tops between 3 to 5 I would usually carry for them. So that's what I did for my 26-month-old, and I would usually just wrap them up like this so it's easy to know what I'm carrying out. And then I also, because we're going to somewhere that is really, really warm, I also carried a like shorts and a t-shirt that he can change into. So we tend to change in the airport when we arrive because it's always usually roasting, like you're frying. So I did carry this, just one of this warm clothes for him, and yeah, that's what it looks like. I just folded them up and I just put his things away. I also carried a pair of socks, so in case the one he's wearing gets like messy or dirty, which didn't quite happen, but at least I had a pair of socks for him to use on the plane if we had to, or if he needed it. Diapers. Now with diapers, I'm just showing you one here because I didn't need to like stack everything, obviously, because I'm not just traveling. I've been here for a few weeks, like I've said. With diapers, I don't mind it because anything can happen. I also did mention in my previous video that my son had a loose bowel and it was like back to back changing him. So if the diapers I carried was not a lot, then I would have heard anyway. So I carried, I think I carried between 7 to 10 diapers. I know it sounds like a lot, but it was really, really useful on this flight, especially because our suitcases did not arrive. And for my 6 month old, for my baby, I also carried the same, about 7 to 10 diapers for both of them. I piled them up like in their section. I also used this, so each child had their items in these cubes, which I also showed in my previous video. Make sure to watch it if you have not watched it already. And then I would just stack their diapers in here. So as soon as I think I used a bigger bag than this actually. So as soon as I opened the suitcase, I knew it belonged to us. Okay, so I thought I'll interrupt this video to say, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, come closer, come closer. What are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so when I post any upcoming videos in future, you get notified, because I'm going to be giving you so much juicy content this year, and also very helpful tips on motherhood and business related content, so you do not want to miss it. I mean, you do not want to miss it. Anyway, subscribe and turn on the bell notification, and let's get back to the video. So I just put everyone's things in here like this, and then just put in the suitcase. So that was for my my 26-month-old. Now for the baby, I carried one change of clothes, I think again about 3 to 5, and also so this vest was also a top. I didn't need to carry too much of this. Then I carried a top for him, trousers, and like one top. So about 3 trousers and about 5 tops, including vest for him. And then I just try to like fold them up, so as soon as I open the suitcase, I know who owns what. Then I carried babe, because he's teething now. I did carry quite a few bibs because his top gets drenched with his saliva. So I did carry a few of this. I think I carried about 3 of this. And I carried just 1 pair of socks, but he didn't need it, so I just carried it as in case he needed it. It comes handy. Also, I carried a warm clothes for him for when we arrived, and also a top. So just one of this was good enough. But for the warm clothes, I did carry a few more of those. And again, like I said, these clothes are not usually that heavy, so it didn't really matter. So I put his in his own cube and then just tucked it away in the suitcase. Right, so the other thing I carried for myself is I carried the perfume, because running up and down in the airports with kids, if you're sweating too much, it comes in handy. So that's for myself. And then for my toddler, I carried a tablet for him, because it's a long haul of flight. So many hours. It took 10 hours in total for us to arrive into Nigeria, with the connection and the 2 flights we had to enter. So his tablet came in really, really handy. And the headphones also came in handy because we don't want noise on the plane. He didn't use the headphones quite a lot, to be fair, because he watches the tablet even without the volume. I think he's usually just looking at the screen and like people just running around and stuff. So I did download quite a lot of things on the tablet for him to be able to watch. The other thing I need to mention is the airline, the flight we got on KLM, they have Wi-Fi on board. I think because it's been a while I traveled like international flights, not in EU but outside EU. It's nice to know that there's Wi-Fi that would last you all through. In case I'm late on this, I've only just found out, Wi-Fi that I can use all through the journey. So I did connect for a few hours, but I had already downloaded things that he could watch on here, because I've got a YouTube premium account. So I would usually just sign in and then just download things. And there was also Netflix and a few kids things that were downloaded on the tablet. So it came in quite handy, but at some point he got tired of watching the tablet, which was fair enough. So yeah, that's what I carried for him for entertainment. So for myself, obviously I carried my phone and I carried my headphones. Pretty explanatory. I've got quite a lot of things downloaded on my YouTube Premium account, which I was able to watch and listen to. I tend not to read when I'm flying because I get travel sick. So I was just listening to this the whole time. And these headphones came in very handy and is very useful as well. So the other things I carried for them, in addition to the diaper, obviously wipes and this bag, this nappy bag. When they had like clothes that were soiled, it was very handy. I just put the clothes in here because then there was no mix up with soiled clothes and clean clothes. So the nappy bag came in very handy. I carried the whole bag. I didn't even like bring some out because you never know how much you need. And then the wipes as well, what I carried. And then the milk bottle, I have milk for my milk bottle for my baby, for my 6-month-old, and milk bottle for the 26-month-old because he still takes milk, obviously. And because of the flights, we just stuff him with things to get him full because he didn't even eat the food they gave on the plane. So I carried, while I was still on the bottles, I carried some fruits that they were going to eat on the plane, some chips as well. And then I carried some of this pouch. I think it was about 6 to 8 of these pouches I carried. And this milk, so I tend to buy, when I'm going on a long distance or something, I tend to buy this milk. It's the liquid milk. I use Cow and Gate. There are a few other brands that have this liquid milk. But I noticed in Nigeria they do not sell this liquid milk. But we did carry it. It was quite handy. I think we carried about 8 to 10 of this, obviously, because my son takes a lot more milk. And I'm breastfeeding this one. So he did not even drink this milk one time. Like, not a single time. So my son got to drink most of it. Even till now, he's still not taking to this milk. I'm not sure why. It's either he's breastfeeding or he's eating like proper meals. He's not drinking this liquid milk. So my son gets to drink it. So yeah. So those are the things I carried for him. And then the pouch. And then yeah, I just wanted to mention this is, so my baby, my 6-month-old, because he wasn't drinking a lot of the milk, he did take quite a lot of this because he actually loves taking this. So most of it, he went through them quite quickly if he wasn't having breast milk. So next thing is onto medication. Now, I did say my 6-month-old is teething. So I took some of this Bonjela that I was rubbing on his gum just to make the soreness a bit more bearable. And I also took some Calpol with this, and I usually just carry this because kids do fall sick at any point on your journey, so you never really know. So this always comes in very handy. All kids tend to fall ill when you're traveling, so carrying medication of some point, first aid, all this type of things, they usually always come in very handy because you never know when you need it. So Calpol and Bonjela was what I carried in my carry-on because I had a few other medications and for them in the suitcase I checked in. So like cough medicine and a few other things. I will do a different video of what I carried for them in the suitcases we checked in and that did not arrive for 48 hours. So that's that one. And then for myself, I just carry paracetamol. I do not usually get to use it, but it's just backup. So for whenever I need it, I know it's there. So I just carry it for myself. And then, very important, is the hand sanitizer because you go into the toilet quite frequently. And I can say the plane toilet is not the cleanest place. So when I come out, I tend to use this hand sanitizer. And then, cups. I carried 2 cups for each of them. This green one for the 26-month-old and a blue one like this for my 6-month-old, and they kind of know who owns which cup. So I did show this pouch in my last video on how to keep your documents handy, and I had this pouch where I just put in all our documents in, so that when we had to find our seats, it was easy to just bring out the boarding passes from here to see what seats we are sat on. And also, if they needed to check our passport or anything else, everything was just very handy in here. And then last but not the least, is this. So this is the changing mat that also has the space holder for diapers and for some wipes. So I've got a diaper still stuck inside, which you'd have seen on my last video, and it just opens up like so, and the baby just stays in here, or the toddler stays on here, and then I get them changed and clean it after without them having to sit on the planes changing table, which I'm not sure how clean that is. So that's that one I carried. And then, like, moving the baby around, I used my baby carrier, which should, just so it was easy to move the suitcase around and to move the buggy around. So this came in very, very handy. And the very last thing is I carried this bag. I think I put the liquids in here before we got to security, and after we moved away from security, just so I didn't have to be opening the suitcase. Because imagine opening a suitcase, carrying a toddler, holding a toddler and carrying a baby. How does that work? I'm not sure, but I just moved all the liquid in this bag, and it was easy to like just open it, do stuff with one hand, and then just bring it out and close it back without disturbing the suitcase. So I think that's what I carried this bag for, and that's it. That's everything I carried that was very essential for the whole 10 hours flight, and also for when we got to the hotel we stayed in that night when we arrived in Lagos, because where I stay is a bit far from the airport. So we just stayed in Ikeja, which is the capital of Lagos. Yeah, so that's where we stayed in that night, and the next day we went to the airport to check for our suitcases, which had still not arrived. And we also went to like buy a few things, because the things I'd carried had run out at that time. So I went to pick up a few things from the shops. And that's it from me, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the content of this video. If you have, you know what to do. Remember to thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, and turn on the bell notification so when I post any upcoming videos, you get notified. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.